Happy Sunday, boys and girls. It's just after 7 p.m. East Coast, South Carolina time. I got to pick them beer cans up. It's 96 degrees, boys and girls, but I thought I'd make a video outside because I love outside. I hope you've been enjoying my series, my high school years, rock and roll, and then some. I did a little then some. Okay, 83, 84, we covered a lot of good rock and roll. If you hadn't seen episode 1 and you like what I'm doing, check it out. Fall of 84. Okay, I told y'all I went into high school in 83 listening to the Gap Band, Zap, The Time, Prince, Michael Jackson, and Top 40. I came out of 9th grade thanks to some really good friends like David Longley, Robbie Lawless, some people I went to high school with. Give me a hard time. Page, Mr. Johnson, Penley Johnson wasn't there. I hadn't met him. Page was. Anyway, in July of 84, I started getting guitar lessons from my cousin, Terry. He done a real good job because I can sort of play a little bit. So I come out in 9th grade, the end of the year. I'm still a nerd, boys and girls. Hadn't got the mullet. I call it my coming out party in 11th grade. That'll be the next episode where I got my mama pierced my ear and I grew a mullet, got some rock and roll, a Led Zeppelin jacket. Maybe coming out party is not the right way to put it, but that's how I put it. That'll be in the next episode. But anyway, all right. I graduated in 9th grade listening to Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, Van Halen's 84, and buying all the first records, getting all the Led Zeppelin records on cassettes. And I'm rocking and rolling, plus all the new music that's out there that we just discussed. Now, on the start 84, 85, which is 10th grade, and yes, I was a nerd through 10th grade, but I was getting better. I just need a new haircut. I actually needed some new eyes, boys and girls. That's something, for those of you I went to high school with, I think I got a few of y'all. Look at your 85 yearbook. I got an Ozzy Osbourne t-shirt on, and my eyes need replacing, but I do not know this, and my parents don't notice it. So my eyes don't fit good, and that ain't cool at 15. I was having a hard enough time being cool. It's okay, puppy dog. The first record on the cover ain't classic rock, but I think it kind of is. John C. Fogerty of CCR puts out his record Center Field. I believe that I bumped to the spring of 85. My buddy Robbie got it for me on my birthday in March of 85, but it was out probably late 84. Y'all know I never check this stuff. Just go by memory. So I hope this mic's not, I'm trying to talk to you. I keep forgetting the microphone is attached to me, not in front of me. Center Field, first song, Old Man Down the Road. Great stuff. The actual leader of CCR. The second song, Rock and Roll Girl. Good stuff. Third song, Big Train from Memphis. Never was on the country chart, but a good song about Elvis. Fourth song, and no, I haven't played this record in a year or two. I just remember. Is I saw it on TV. A great ballad about everything he learned about through television in the 1950s and early 60s. Good stuff. I'm not going to go through the rest of the record track by track, song by song. Center Field, number 2 on side 2 of the cassette and the record, because my parents eventually got it on vinyl. A great album, I think. It's weird. 5 songs on side 1, 4 songs on side 2. I think they made a video for Zans Can't Dance. He was fussing about his record company because he wasn't allowed to do CCR songs because he had a war with his brother. That's probably why we had a bunch of good seats to see him at the Greenville Memorial Auditorium, where we all graduated from. It's no longer there. But he canceled. He could not do CCR. I saw him in the late 90s when he could do CCR, and it was a phenomenal concert. But anyway, let's go next. We covered Motley Crue, Shout the Devil. Second record, I mentioned the first record, Too Fast for Love. If you haven't heard it, it's raw and really good. Twisted Sister had a couple of records, at least one that didn't do much, called Under the Blade. It had a song called You Can't Stop Rock and Roll. But the record, Stay Hungry, I think I mentioned it, but I'm going to mention it again because it's really good. We're not going to take it, I Want to Rock, etc. Back to Motley Crue. Theater Pain, record number 3. Second song, a cover of, who is it, Brownsville Station, Smoking in the Boys' Room. Good stuff, good stuff. It also had a classic ballad from the Crue, the first ballad they had recorded, and they didn't have one on their first 2 records, called Home Sweet Home. I know y'all know that one. Boys and girls, I'm going to quit smoking tomorrow. Y'all check with me to see if I did. That's How Blind Man Lights a Cigarette in the Wind. Here's where it gets interesting. I don't think my thumb's on fire. Oh, baby, did I get it? I'm asking y'all like y'all can tell me. I got it. All right. So Motley Crue, Theater of Pain. Well, Rat, we discussed Out of the Cellar. Great record. Fall of 84, 85. The second Rat record, Invasion of Your Privacy. Second song on the record, Lay It Down. A minor radio hit. I don't remember where it was on top 40, but it was probably there somewhere. They had, if you recall, Round and Round from the first record, their radio hit, Lay It Down from the second record. So that's two good ones. We mentioned Twisted Sister. My man Robbie had these cassettes. He had Rat on record, which I have the records now. The flip side of my Twisted Sister cassette was Whitesnake, Slide It In. Now, Whitesnake would get real popular with a self-titled record later in the 80s. We'll cover that when it's time. But they weren't getting much radio play, if any. Had a song called Slow and Easy, the first two tracks, Slide It In, Slow and Easy. Robbie took a chance and bought the cassette with us only hearing one song. Really good record, boys and girls. If you don't know it, it's a great, I like it better than the record that brought them so much commercial success. I think Slide In is a better album. A little more rock and roll, a little less keyboard. He don't sound quite as much like Robert Plant. All right. So we've covered 2 or 3 records from 84, 85. I'm trying to think. I wanted to dip back to 83. This ain't classic rock, but it's just oldies, 80s. Hall & Oates put out their first greatest hits record. It was called Rock and Soul Part 1, with all old songs except track 1 on side 1 was Say It Isn't So. Track 1 on side 2 was Adult Education, where they actually got some cheerleaders to do the Oh Yes from a local high school in the recording studio. I learned that from Casey Kasem or somebody like him. And since I'm a music nerd, I recalled it. Now, that's about all that's coming to me for 84, 85. I'm trying to think, what cassettes did I have in 10th grade? We were still listening to Bark at the Moon. Ozzy's Ultimate Sin would be the following year. We were still listening to 1984. A lot of the 84 music was still rocking and rolling up into 85. I think on the pop scene, Michael Jackson's Thriller was about to crap out as far as top 40 hits by the end of 84, but that thing, one of the biggest selling records ever. What a lot of people don't realize is just as many sales, if not more, was the Eagles' greatest hits, 71 to 75. And I can name every song on that record in order. I've had over the years the CD, the cassette, and the record, but I'm not going to bore y'all with that. But I'm not really thinking of any more that come out in 10th grade. I want to cover the Outfield, even though they're not hard rock, and the new ZZ Top, but that's all going to be on tomorrow. Well, probably next weekend's episode. Depends on how I feel. So I'm going to move this chair out of this dadgum sun. What'd I do with the remote? Now, see, I'm going to need that. Oh, I found it. So, boys and girls, I got my cigarette lit, and that means I can get this thing cut off by myself. The first 2 times I wasn't able to cut it off, and Miss Sarah had to clip or cut the video. But I hope y'all like what I'm doing. I'd love an email. I forgot the address. I'll have her post it. I know that there's records I missed, and I'd love to hear about them, and I will certainly include them. I'll do episode 2.5 and discuss the ones I left out of this one. They're just not coming to me at the moment, maybe because it's 96 degrees. So I'm going in the house. Hope y'all have a great week coming up, and we'll see you next time.